Well, hello everyone. Welcome in. This is Andrew, the Archon Philosopher, talking philosophy to the philosopher in all of us. Well, today's topic is, I think, one of the most radical topics that is spoken about here on the interwebs. It's an implication of the demiurge species collapsing the universal wave function, the originary universal wave function, and then expanding the compact universe that it collapsed. So Earth is a node in a Type 3 civilization ? There we go. Let's see what this looks like. A little bit of background. We have the Tic Tac craft, which flies at 60,000 miles an hour, which is 35 times what we can do. So we have a factor of 35 anyway. So let's think big on this. And so if we think big, we can make a geodesic, contained environment and 35 times what we can do. We have a Dyson-like Sphere, which is a feature of a Type 3 civilization. They can extract the energy of their sun, but in this case, it's just around Earth and probably other nodes as well. So what we have is just amazing technology, and we've had this since the Black Triangle has been coming around, at least for 2,000 years, probably longer. And we have official statements, we have unofficial statements, whistleblowers, mass sightings with radar, video. It's all there, so we know this technology is there. We just don't want to think small. We don't want to get into a cargo cult mentality. So what evidence do we have that we're in a Type 3 civilization as one node of it? Well, what we want to look at is that we have two modern scientific experiments. The first one, Airy's failure by George Airy, the head of the Royal Society in London. He tried to find whether the Earth was moving. He tried to prove it, and he failed. That's why it's called Airy's failure. It's a very intuitive experiment. We can go over it later. And then in 1887, a couple of decades later, Michelson-Morley did an experiment to try to sort out some motion, again, in what they thought was ether, but ether doesn't exist, so it's just space. So they tried to find some motion in space, and they failed. And both these experiments are done at some university probably every week around the world, and they result in the same thing. There's no motion. Now, people try to claim that Michelson-Morley is a proof of the special theory of relativity, but they're assuming just what George Airy wanted to prove and what Michelson-Morley just wanted to show. They're assuming that the Earth is in motion. But if you don't assume that, it just shows there's no motion. And it's a fallacy of reasoning to assume the consequent. That's just simple. That's just basic logic. So we also have issues in the night sky when we look up. Now, the thing is that we only really see with our eyes the visible light, but if you measure all the frequencies of light up there, it's just looking like it's all covered. It's all covered in some radiation frequency or other. The whole thing is just one thing of radiation. And we can get certain modern scientific experiments here on Earth with redshift quantization. So the galaxies are moving away, giving us a redshift, but it's at 1 and 3 and not 2. It's at 3 and 5, but not 4, something like that. So because the universe is analog, like a guitar string, and not digitized, like a sample, we would say that there's something going on here. It looks like it's a digitization. And the electric universe idea, again, they're using observational science and not modern science. They're just looking up and they see this electromagnetism everywhere. It's just everywhere. So we're just seeing this. It's looking like there's just some coating, a Dyson-like sphere, surrounding the whole Earth. And the alternatives to this node on a Type 3 civilization is just the invention of dark matter, dark energy, a magical Big Bang, the problems arising from the James Webb Space Telescope, and just the moon itself. These things are just completely unexplainable. And to suggest that there's 80% of the matter in the room that you're in is invisible, this has to be taken with a grain of salt until there's some evidence of it. There's no evidence of it other than mathematics, just pretty mathematics. It has to be there for the forces that they've determined. But if there's only lights on a Dyson-like sphere, then obviously the lights don't have to reflect these forces. They're just lights up there, and that's it. We also have some problems with Earth itself. That we have the 26-second blip in the bite of Bonnie. You want to look that up. And every 26 seconds, there's a little seismic event. You can set your watch by it. And this is just inexplicable because natural phenomena are not clock determined. Then we've only ever drilled down 12 miles, really. And then the bit, this tungsten carbide diamond bit melts, and it's not that hot. It's not hot enough to do any damage, really. But they can't dig any further, so they're hitting something. Then we have the very unusual Mayotte event of November 2018. You want to look into that and decide, what this is and what it indicates is underneath of us and not that far underneath. So we have all of these issues that point to the fact that we're in an enclosed environment, stationary, and with the intrusions into our space by a multitude of various craft piloted at forces that we cannot emulate as humans. We can't do this sort of stuff. 60,000 miles an hour from the air to the water to the air. We just can't do stuff like that. So something's happening, and we're looking at appeal to best explanation. We're sticking to modern science. We're not doing observational science. And we're sticking to experience. We experience things. The world is not an abstraction. Experience is real. You're experiencing it. Then you put it into language. That's an experience. That's going to be the next topic. I see a lot of confusion out there. Anyway, thanks for dropping in. Remember, like, subscribe, share, and comment. And until next time, we'll see. And remember that until we know where we are, we will not know who we are, and we will not know what to do. Until then, see you next time.